everyone want to look at the cameras because we're about to say hello.
Oh yeah.
Howdy. Well, welcome to.
I thought you were gonna do
I
it.
thought you were
Yeah.
gonna intro. Who's introing?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Concrete Ranch podcast. I know it's been a while, but we are back with a new format, new set, new equipment, and we're hoping everything looks a lot better on everyone's end. Everyone can say hello to their own respective cameras.
Hello, my camera.
Howdy. Yeah, Jerry moved, so it's
Yeah, I
lot
moved
more
locations,
space.
so we're no longer working out of a small little spare bedroom in my apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
One day we'll get that studio.
we have a lovely little outdoor space for us right now, at least for this episode,
And it is-
any potential future episodes.
Yep. The owner doesn't know we're here, so we have a finite amount of time.
Finite amount of time. We can only film on Mondays between 2 and 4 o'clock.
when he's at work.
That actually works for me. Mondays.
Mondays, you're available.
Oh,
are
all
you
day.
available to do like breaking and entering?
Yeah, I'll run it by the owner.
Yeah.
So, we wanted to talk about a few things. Mainly, there's a lot of MCU or just Marvel going along right now because Marvel has finally come back from their, I'd say like year to year and a half break
Hiatus.
hiatus.
Oh yeah, they did. They did take a break from making movies or releasing movies, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
good ones.
Good. Well,
That was a
general.
that was a while ago. I'm gonna
I
say
mean,
that.
the only movies I can really think of that they released in the last few years were Guardians 3,
Mm.
Yeah.
The Marvels, and most recently, Captain America: Brave New World.
Did not see that.
There was
Still haven't seen
Thor:
it.
Love and Thunder. That was a stinker.
I was about to say I didn't
Well,
even remember
how
that one.
soon was that, or was that part of Phase 4?
I don't remember.
Like how long ago was Captain or Thor?
It was like 2 years ago or 3.
Yeah, fairly recent, I think.
That was not fairly recent.
Well, in terms of what he's referring to, like, yeah, it's one of the more recent ones.
I mean, y'all can keep talking about it while I look it up.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, do the years feel shorter? Is that why?
Well, because after Endgame, it was Spider-Man: No Way Home, Thor: Love
Okay.
and Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder came out 3 years ago.
See, 2-3 years ago, I
Yeah,
knew it.
that's
That was
That's not part of the original that I'm talking about. Not the original, but the more recent.
most recent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the more
Um,
recent misfires, excluding Guardians 3. I will say.
Guardians 3 was really good. That came out last year or the year before?
Last 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2
Yeah,
years ago.
2 years ago now.
I liked it. I thought that was like the Guardians trilogy was just great.
It's the best they have.
Yeah. The Captain America trilogy I thought was good, but Civil War just felt like another Avengers movie.
Well, I mean, since you're talking about the Captain America trilogy, since you like it, you didn't see Brave New World?
Yeah, I just haven't gotten time to it. And then in general, I just like,
'Cause
from
it's-
what I've heard, it's just a rehash of Winter Soldier.
I wouldn't say a rehash. So you know a good bit about it.
Yeah,
I think I'm the only one who properly went to a theater to see it.
yeah.
From my own experience, I would not say it's a rehash. I know a lot of people are saying that about it. Like there's similarities, similar themes. Not really. It's not really a spy thing. Not at all. It's more.
In Ops,
It's hard to. I mean, do we care about spoilers? It's
I
been out
know.
for a
I've
little bit.
already heard about the spoilers.
There's
Wait.
a mad green guy from the Incredible Hulk. Who
It's
wants
not the one you're thinking of.
It's not the
Yeah, it's not the one
you're
you're
thinking
thinking
about.
of.
It's the much lamer one. He comes
Ah.
back for whatever fucking
the
reason.
Jolly Green
and
Giant.
he's mind controlling people with a little tune. So there's sleeper agents. So that's why people are like referring it.
I've
referring
heard
to
the
it
whole
as
like
Winter
plot.
Soldier.
Yeah,
It's a
so it's like
it's
the
a,
Pied Piper kind of thing.
it's a huge mess.
that's what I heard too. It was a pretty big mess.
I heard-
Because the one thing I don't like about it is that it's just all of Hulk's villains that they're tossing.
It is the.
I heard it's a
sequel-
Hulk movie without
yeah.
the Hulk.
Yeah,
It-
it's a Hulk movie
I think that's
without
what
the
I
Hulk.
told you like the next day, right?
Yeah.
We were at work and
Yeah.
it is just it's nothing but Incredible Hulk characters, missing the Incredible Hulk.
They replaced the actor for Thunderbolt.
Well, he died.
He died.
He
They
died.
didn't replace him. He died.
I didn't know he died.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
okay, that makes sense.
insensitive
now.
motherfucker.
yeah, is it all
I
coming
was like-
together?
I was like watching. I was like, why did they replace him? I like that actor. He was cool.
Yeah, no, they didn't replace him, dude. He died.
Oh, okay. And then they just tossed Harrison Ford's goofy ass on there.
Yeah,
Goofy.
he likes money.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm saying he's goofy because he's doing a fucking Marvel movie.
He didn't care. He got like $10 million to do it.
Yeah, it's true.
No, fair enough.
It's like Harrison Ford. What inspired you to finally step foot into the MCU?
Money.
Money. He literally said that too. Yeah.
Like, you got to think about the money, man.
Whatever.
Harrison Ford, how was it on set acting on a green screen as a big CGI
Like,
character?
I've done it before already.
Yeah, what do I care?
It's like,
I'll be
Just
dead soon.
Indiana
Yeah.
Jones 5 for me.
Yeah, how do you get past the embarrassment? It's like, well, when you're getting paid millions of dollars, you don't really care about
Yeah,
what's
that's like what
embarrassing.
I said.
Yeah, I don't care. I can just zone out.
So because I'll say this, I like the original The Incredible Hulk.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
I hated it.
You're one of
Yeah.
a million.
Well, I haven't seen it in a long time. I'll say that.
I didn't say I haven't seen it. I was like, you
No,
ass.
But,
I haven't seen it since, like,
I've seen
2008.
it, but I just haven't seen it in a long time, and I still like it because that was one of the first MCU movies. Because
I think
well,
it was number 2, right?
Yeah, the second one.
it was either 1 or 2 because Iron Man had just came out, and then
Iron
Iron
Man
Man
was the first
Yeah,
one.
okay, yeah. Iron Man's the first one because he cameos at the end of Incredible Hulk,
Yeah.
and then they replaced Edward Norton.
Yeah, so Captain America Brave New World is solely Hulk characters with Thaddeus Ross, Betty, his love interest, and the villain for Brave New World is the weird scientist guy at the end of Incredible Hulk. So they have a bunch of characters from a movie that was 17
I
years
was say
ago.
like 20 years ago.
Yeah, close to 20 years
Remember
ago.
that guy?
Yeah, remember
Yeah,
all
that
these
was like
characters?
17
Remember
years
these
ago
guys?
because it was
That most people
08.
didn't like.
Remember the story that they keep referencing? And remember the main character from that movie?
You
He's
remember
not in
that
this.
guy?
He's not
Hey,
even-
you remember that guy?
He's not even fucking mentioned. Like, never
No.
at any point was Sam Wilson like, hey, maybe I should call Bruce, the guy who's interacting with all these characters before. All these characters exist because of him or are mad because of him.
Uh-huh.
They didn't.
It's
have
not even
more
like he's
money-
off planet anymore either. He's hanging out. He's
Yeah,
he brought his
They,
son
they
back.
didn't
Where's
have
he
more
in?
money for
He's in
another
Manhattan
Hulk,
or
that's
something?
Why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bonding.
The
playing catch
budget
with his
couldn't
son.
handle Harrison Ford, 2 Hulks, Harrison Ford Hulk, and then OG Mark Ruffalo Hulk.
Yeah, like their biggest advertisement is the fact that they have a red Hulk. You know, the Hulk villain, Red Hulk.
Yeah,
Thaddeus Ross turns into him at the end of the movie. They play it like a secret. It's a huge reveal. The entire movie, it's Harrison Ford being like, "Ooh, don't." Oh,
so
I'm getting
in the movie
angry."
they actually keep it a secret.
Yeah, I know it's a secret.
Oh,
It's a
that
huge secret
sucks.
throughout the entire movie. And like we have a trailer playing right now, off the cameras, and all the trailers is nothing but Red Hulk. That's their biggest advertisement. They show Red Hulk.
That's a
They show
failure.
that it's Harrison Ford. The big CGI creature looks like Harrison Ford, but in the movie, it's a secret. It's a secret the entire time. He gets a little angry at press conferences or in like presidential meetings, and he's like, "Oh," and he'll like smash a table and be like, "Oh, he's pretty strong for an old guy."
Yeah.
Right? It's like his medication must be kind of weird. And it's all the way until the fucking end that this guy doesn't even turn into the Red Hulk. And it's the biggest reveal ever. It's like, no way. He's a Hulk?
You're
Who
kidding.
could have fucking guessed? Oh my God, poor Harrison Ford. Poor
What do you mean?
Thaddeus
The
Ross.
audience already knew.
Yeah,
Dude,
my popcorn bucket is Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I know, that's
Yeah,
what
my
it-
popcorn bucket's Harrison Ford.
It is so embarrassing how much they play into it of like it's being a reveal when that's their biggest advertisement. It's
Well,
really, really embarrassing.
I was gonna say, like, I hate how movies will do that. It's because then you it's like, okay, then why am I even going to see the movie at that point? I'll just wait until it comes on. Well, back then when it was on DVD.
I went on opening night, I believe. It was hard to get tickets. Place was packed.
Was it really?
It was pretty fucking packed. Holy shit, dude. People were laughing in the theater for the reveals.
Really? Was it that
When they
bad?
revealed the green guy, the scientist villain with like the fucked up brain. I forget what his name is.
The leader.
The leader. Yeah. Horrible design, but I sound like such a pessimist. I'm just shitting on this movie. But horrible design. They laughed whenever he came on camera. I snickered. I giggled a little bit. There was a father of like 4 next to me. He was laughing his ass off.
The kids didn't know at all what was going on.
Yeah, kids didn't know. They couldn't give a fuck.
Who is this person?
They were excited whenever Anthony Mackie was on screen, which so was I, but they couldn't give a fuck. The dad was laughing. I heard people below me laughing. Just he looks ridiculous. The reveal is ridiculous. The Harrison Ford scenes of him getting a little bit angry and turning a little bit red to be like, oh, what's happening to him, is just played so horribly.
Yeah.
Carlo Esposito, the actor, he's like a mercenary guy in this movie.
Yeah.
They keep revealing him.
Why didn't they just have him like the main villain then?
Well, he's kind of just like a side villain where they just get information out of him. But from my understanding, the movie went through a lot of reshoots.
Yeah.
I remember you were telling me
remember
about it
hearing
before
that,
it came
yeah.
out. And you could tell for all of his scenes. Carlo Esposito was not in the original cut of this movie. Because
Really?
he is never on screen with Anthony Mackie on the same camera cut.
Oh,
but they
same
have a
shot.
lot.
You mean?
Yeah, the same shot, but they have a lot of scenes together. So any of their action scenes together, whenever they're fighting or whenever they're supposed to be interacting, it's single shots, cut really, really weird. So it's like, what was this movie before? Like, how much did they have to
Well,
change it?
it's the same deal because like I said, it's the Hulk movie, or it's a Hulk movie.
It's the
without
not Hulk movie.
And I really wish they would have just done more like Captain America villains, like Zemo. Zemo, like what happened with Zemo in Winter Soldier, Captain Falcon and Winter Soldier. I can't remember.
The Wakandans take him.
The Wakandans take
Yeah,
him?
they do mention that in this movie.
They mentioned
because
Zemo.
They mention Zemo and they mention the Wakandans mainly because Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson, has a brand new suit. It's not the same suit from the Falcon and Winter Soldier finale, where he dons the shield and everything, like the proper title. The Wakandans gave him a suit full of vibranium and like a bunch of technology, and so that's kind of like their explanation as to how Sam Wilson is able to do superhuman feats
Yeah.
because he doesn't have the super soldier serum, which is like a plot point.
He just has a super suit.
He just has a super suit, like he has vibranium. So it's like he'll have like a purple force field that shoots out for him.
Like a
Or
vibranium flashbang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how Black Panther's suit was. He takes damage and he sends it back out.
Yeah.
It's like a big purple dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I kind of wish they would have done like Captain America villains. Like they could have done like a, what is it, Hydra cult or something. Like let's say there's a Hydra,
Could have done anything.
or you just
anything Captain
yeah,
America
just
related.
anything besides just like Hulk
Just Hulk.
characters.
Hulk characters without Hulk.
Yeah.
I just feel like the movie was kind of set up for failure to begin with because I feel like they wanted to do a Hulk movie, but then they couldn't be bothered to have the Hulk be in it.
Nope. Or the other Hulk characters that they introduced
Or
with the
paid
for
TV
it,
shows.
yeah.
The amazing TV shows they put
Yeah,
out.
anything,
She-Hulk,
like
yeah.
anything, and then the one Hulk character that they bring back is somebody from almost 20 years ago that nobody remembers or cares about. The arguably the Captain America and Winter Soldier show or Falcon and Winter Soldier show wasn't very well received.
Nope.
I thought it was all right.
Most people didn't like it.
Yeah, the ending I thought was pretty political and stupid.
It's nothing new to say that the MCU shows that they put out after Endgame were not well received.
no,
It's not too
And-
shocking to say anymore.
like it's. I mean, MCU in general has fallen pretty hard. I will say because we're supposed to be talking about Daredevil mainly, and we're doing.
Well, a nice
Captain America.
transition. I mean, since we're talking about Hulk characters, is that they don't have any Hulk characters in it because they introduced through the TV shows of She-Hulk. She-Hulk is now part of the main roster. Abomination is back and is like a mainstay.
Yeah,
Bruce
Yeah.
Banner is even on planet. They don't have like an excuse to not have him on Earth conflicts.
his son.
And one of the fun things that they introduced with She-Hulk that we can transition to is Daredevil. They brought him into the MCU using that TV show.
Well, first they brought him in through like Spider-Man, and I think having that cameo was great.
Fantastic.
And
Very
then
cute.
I did like seeing Daredevil and She-Hulk. I think that episode was probably my favorite. Granted, it was a little weird just because they hook up, and it's just like, well,
No,
spoilers.
I
'cause
fuck
they-
with that.
it just, I feel like there need to be more history in that, or I don't know, but like more build up to that, if anything.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. And then if you guys aren't even gonna remember this show, Echo. Did you ever watch Echo?
No.
I know that he's in it, and so is Kingpin. but-
Yeah, in very briefly is what Daredevil in it, which they mention it actually too in the new series.
yeah.
But I like that they're bringing Daredevil back, and I think they might even make a movie for him too. But the original Netflix series I love to death. I rewatched like the first 2 seasons. I didn't watch the 3rd season, and then I went to Daredevil Born Again.
I've been loving Born Again so far.
Oh, it's
There's
awesome.
a few flaws, but I've been loving it so far. Devin, I mean, you're like the big Daredevil guy out of this group.
Yeah. I'm super excited just to have him back in any regard. And it's still pretty early on. I know that they're doing the superhero hangs up the mantle briefly to come back stronger than they were before. So I'm optimistic and I'm curious to see where they go with it. So far, I am personally a little bit underwhelmed with how it's been, just because I'm not really a big fan of shows that have the superheroes give up being a superhero for a while.
They're what they did boldly in that first 3-5 minutes.
Yeah, which I feel like was kind of a slap in the face because
It was a little bit of a slap in the face.
because they originally didn't want that character back in the show. Period.
That or the original cast, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know if they wanted to replace them altogether or they didn't feel the need to have them come into the MCU or what. And then people really wanted them because they enjoyed their characters.
Yeah, they were great
And they're
characters.
like, sure, yeah, we'll bring them back.
I mean,
They,
it's the
well, they
Daredevil
had
family,
interviews
right?
and everything with those cast members, and afterwards, like you can kind of tell what's going on. They're a little bit off too.
So,
Still,
As of recording, we are going to spoil
Yeah,
the
just
first
spoil it.
3 episodes of Daredevil Born Again. Just the first 3 episodes. That's all that's out as of now of recording.
yeah. How many episodes in total is there
9.
supposed to be?
It's supposed to be 9.
Okay.
So they wanted to. They really showed a lot that they're bringing back Foggy and Karen. You know, a lot of like the original Daredevil family from
Yep.
the TV show. And in the first, I'd say 5 to 10 minutes.
3 minutes,
of
not
the
even
first
5.
episode.
It was like 3 minutes in.
Foggy gets just fucking gunned down.
Gunned down.
in the middle of
Shot
the theme
in the
song.
chest.
You see
Yes.
this lovable character?
And then
It's
look,
the end
and
of
then
Boys
that-
in the Hood.
yeah.
They fucking shoot him in the alley. They take his ass out in slow mo. It's horrible.
Yeah, Foggy gets
immediately
all of
Matt just goes
6
fucking
lines
crazy.
in the show.
It is so sad.
Yeah, and I liked his new look with his beard too.
He got a
was,
beard, he
yeah,
got a
he was
fresh
bearded
cut.
up.
He was spitting game at the bar. He was
Yeah.
doing his thing.
Yeah, Foggy's at the bar, and the bartender's like, "Hey, can I get you a shot?" Sure, I'll take one. And then that's the last we ever see Foggy.
Yeah, he gets a phone call, and then Matt's like, "Oh, let me be Daredevil," and it was rough. It was rough seeing that.
I do like that scene a lot, though, of him listening in on the call. They do a lot of fun camera work with that.
So
where
I
it's-
do love that, the camera quality, and then
Yeah.
also how they're shooting things. now.
Everything goes out of focus for him, or besides him. So the entire bar goes out of focus. It focuses in on his hearing, and then like the camera perfectly like just zooms in past him, like past his ear, to show Foggy in the background, like behind a window,
Yeah,
talking
Yeah.
out on the street, where he gets shot.
Yeah,
I was dying too. 'Cause, like Otto and I were watching. We were trying to take it seriously, but it's so funny when Foggy's on the phone with I don't remember his name, like Old Man Jenkins or whatever. And Old Man Jenkins like, I think he's in the house. Like he's breaking in. Like please call somebody.
need help.
And then Foggy's like, yeah, I think he's just paranoid. And Daredevil was like, I don't think he's paranoid, dog.
I think he's getting killed
Yeah,
right
like,
now.
I'm
There's
sorry,
a home
Foggy. I told him
invasion
where you are
happening.
right now. It's like I don't think I should worry about that.
Yeah, Daredevil could hear it, so he's like, dog, I think you should call somebody. Yeah, I'm very excited to see like what they do with it.
I
I'm-
think it's full. Besides just like that one, because that's where I'm like 50-50 on it. But besides that, like I think the show's fucking great. Like I think they're doing a really good job with the writing.
I agree. I also think that
Wait, especially even bringing in like the new characters. Like they're doing a pretty good job. But,
Oh, White Tiger has been fantastic. However,
man,
I didn't know about this whenever I first started the show.
that the actors passed away.
yeah.
The actor passed away while filming.
Mhm.
I had no idea about that. And spoiler for the first 3 episodes, specifically episode 3, they kill off his character
Yeah.
Yeah, they
because
kill
I-
him off fairly immediately.
very very soon because I assume that is all that they had with that actor.
Well, so in the comics,
No, I think
his
from, well, go ahead.
niece
Yeah.
is the more prominent White Tiger in the show, like because she ends up becoming like an ally of Spider-Man.
I was really confused by that because I don't know Marvel comics that well, but from my understanding was White Tiger was a girl.
Yeah.
yeah.
Was a female hero who always worked with Spider-Man specifically.
Yeah, it's his niece.
Which
So-
sorry.
No, you're good.
Which is pretty rough because like I was really enjoying like just what the original like actors like White Tiger so far, and I thought they were gonna go somewhere with it, with the whole like vigilante stuff that they're doing now
Yeah.
of with Fisk and everything. And then did you guys know that he actually voice acted Raul Menendez in Black Ops 2?
No, but that's pretty cool. I really liked his character in Black Ops 2.
I found that out. I was like, oh my god, he like that because that's another role. If, like if you're an old school, I shouldn't even say old school. That's fucked up to say. That's aging us. Of gaming back in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Great character. Great story for that game too.
So, yeah, so he passed away while filming, or at least very soon after the show was done filming. His death scene isn't even the actor, I believe.
Yeah.
Because his final moments on screen is him behind a mask. It's a little bit obvious that's a different actor because the eyes are different, and he kind of just gets shot in an alley, which seemed a little unceremonious for
Yeah, you got capped.
the actor. Maybe
Yeah.
it's an interesting way to do it because they leave the actor or the character, I should say, White Tiger, on a high. He wins the court case and everything. He doesn't go to jail. He's not going to get killed in prison. And then immediately after, it's like, what are you going to do with your newfound freedom? And it's like him putting on the mask.
Mask one more time.
Yeah, mask one more time. Different actor gets shot.
And they take his wallet.
And
Well, did he actually take his wallet too? I can't remember.
He's got a Costco card. I don't need that.
Was this a Sears card? No way, dude. You're not walking around with
Do you
that.
guys think though that there was more footage of him, or there was like more of a different storyline?
I think they probably would have wanted to have him. I think they always intended to kill him off. Because the daughter is a more prominent white tiger. So I think they were going to kill him at some point, but I think he more than likely was very obviously ill, and then they needed to figure something out.
Okay. He died of like cancer, didn't he?
I
Yeah,
believe
he
so,
did
yeah.
have cancer.
Yeah.
I think he had stomach cancer.
So
Yeah, something like that.
it's no secret that this TV show went under a lot of reshoots and rewriting. I remember, Devin, you talking to me about that a
Mhm.
lot, that a lot of people are worried about this show because a lot of people didn't think it was ever even going to come out. That
Yeah.
even after filming, that they were just going to cancel it and never release any footage just because it was never working
Yeah.
on set. Well, what are some of the stories that you remember?
I don't really remember at the top of my head anymore. I know that they originally were considering completely starting over with the Daredevil cast, like altogether, and
Like
then
scrapping it?
scrapping
Like
it.
a full reboot, but same actors?
Well, just at first they wanted to do a complete reboot and then not include the Netflix stuff at all. And then so many people wanted Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, or whatever his name is, to return as Daredevil and Kingpin.
Yeah.
And so the first thing they did, if I remember correctly, was Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin in Echo, or not, or no, it was the Hawkeye
and
show.
then,
Yeah,
and then Echo.
yeah. And so they brought him back, and then they were going to say that was this timeline's Kingpin. And then in
Lame.
Spider-Man, I think No Way Home,
Yep.
they added Charlie Cox officially as Daredevil. And they submitted that like, this was going to be like this timeline's Daredevil, and everything that happened in Netflix hadn't happened yet.
Which everyone was like, no, fuck that. We really enjoyed that, and that was like a good addition to like, not necessarily like world
Yeah,
Avengers, but like street level fighting Avengers.
yeah. and So around that time, Disney was trying to think like, well, the Netflix stuff was too violent. Do we want to bring that back? But around that time, I think Deadpool 2 had come out, and they tested the waters with that, and it did really well.
Deadpool 2 just like, well, isn't that the most profitable R-rated movie, and then also most profitable Marvel movie?
No to most profitable Marvel movie, and then as far as R-rated, I think it was at the time, but I think it's Joker.
Yeah, just about every other year, the most profitable R-rated movie gets surpassed in some way.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I do think right now it is still the first Joker movie.
yeah, because
Okay.
Joker got like $1 billion.
Because I know Deadpool and Wolverine broke records, and that's the reason why they were like, okay, fuck it, R-rated shit now.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, they kind of have to with some of the characters. Like, you can't make Punisher fucking PG-13.
yeah,
You can't make Ghost Rider. I think if they were to redo Ghost Rider, they can't. They got to make it R-rated. And,
Yeah.
And just certain characters, you can't. You can, but it's not gonna be as true to the character.
What I'm excited about is that Disney, or not Disney, John Bernthal said that he got the script for like the new Punisher movie or TV series that's coming out, and he says it's actually more violent than the Netflix show was.
Really?
And I'm actually pretty excited to see what they do with that.
Okay, I want to see what'll happen with that too.
Could be fun.
I just, but I'm very excited to see what they do with the show. I also am speculating that Spider-Man might make an appearance.
I keep hearing that that's the main cameo that people are expecting.
What, in Daredevil?
Yeah, because
Oh, that'd be
Kingpin
neat.
mentioned Spider-Man in passing
They
in
are
the second
New
episode.
York.
Yeah,
Web Slinger, yeah.
We're now in the era of Spider-Man where he's just swinging around New York. It's like more
the street.
street crime Spider-Man now. He's not
Which
fucking
I would
with,
like that.
he's not fucking
Yeah.
with the Avengers anymore per
Mm.
se. He's not in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm really excited that they're going kind of into that. Like, I hope they bring back Jessica Jones, Luke Cage.
They confirmed they are.
Yeah, and I remember you telling me that. And even Iron Fist, even though I didn't watch Iron Fist at all.
I would love Luke Cage to come back.
I would
He's
too.
one of the personal favorites of mine for like the Marvel cast of
Well,
characters.
I thought his series was like phenomenal, and I really was hoping like they were gonna at least get that third season out for him because he was supposed to become kind of like a Kingpin character where he's like a crime boss. Because at the end of that, he takes over the club.
I never finished the Luke Cage. I didn't honestly finish any of the Netflix series.
Really? Did you finish Daredevil?
I did not.
I did.
I'm going into Born Again having only seen season 1 of Daredevil and half of season 2.
Oh man, you gotta finish season 2.
And 1 season of Luke Cage.
I think
But that was back when it first came out, back in like what, 2017 maybe.
Yeah. I think season 3 of Daredevil you can pass on. It still helps.
In my opinion, season 3 of Daredevil is one of the better seasons, if not the better
It's
season.
my second favorite. Or actually, I actually do like all the seasons 1, 2, 3 in the order like that. Actually, because I mean, you see the origin story. You see it's just pretty damn like on point for a Marvel series.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that this TV show and whatever can come from it, whether it's multiple seasons, spin-offs, or even a movie for Daredevil, I think Daredevil as a character is going to really, if they do it right, really help Marvel or the MCU come back into like the forefront of everyone's minds of like superhero television or movies in general. You know, they've been losing their footing. They lost their rank as like the number one. I mean, sure, they're number one as in the sense of marketability, money, box office. They're always going to win because I don't think nothing's going to really take them from that spot.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like the general consensus or like people talking in casual
Like,
settings,
what is a superhero movie?
everyone's talking about either what's coming from DC. Everyone's a little like very excited for like the new branding of DC, or honestly, Amazon Prime. A lot of the Prime stuff, whether it's Invincible or The Boys, has been a lot of like what the public's talking about.
Which The Boys, that last season is coming. Is that going to be the last season?
Yeah, season 5 is going to be the last one. But so hopefully Daredevil, if done right, will just show that the MCU still has it, that there's a lot of potential. There's so much potential with a character like that. He's complex, he's tragic, he's sad, he's hot.
Yeah.
He had, he checks off every box.
Him and Elektra, oh my god. That's why I love season 2 so much, because they're a little dynamic.
That is why I didn't finish season 2.
I didn't like the Elektra
Really? You
storyline
didn't
at
like
all.
Well, that's what I heard too. A lot of people don't like that, but I love it. I think she's an alright character, but also I don't know. I just love that romance. That superhero
I mean, in the
romance.
comics, I love the Daredevil Elektra stuff. I think Elektra's a really cool character, but I think in the show it's just such a snooze. But I mean, I agree with Jerry though. Like, I think that I don't remember who said it, but somebody made a quote that basically said that superhero fatigue is not necessarily real. It's this that they've gotten lazy and released this like super.
You know, it's funny. I think I know who said that quote. Wasn't it Robert Kirkman when he was talking about the new season of Invincible?
It's definitely possible.
Probably.
And he's right. Because whenever they do release something great, like not to get away from Marvel, we'll come back to it, but like Creature Commandos was incredible in my opinion.
I loved it. Creature Commandos was great.
The new season of Invincible was pretty good. And so people do continue to like superhero stuff, and so I'm really
even at a mature rating too.
Yeah, the enjoyment of superheroes isn't ever going to go away.
Which I'll say this too. I think this is another great point to make. It's that the audience has grown up. So it's been the Marvel universe has been around for almost 2 decades now.
Yeah, close to 20 years.
Literally.
Yeah.
In 2008, that's when
Iron Man
came 20
out.
years. Yeah. And I think like if they want to keep this thing going, because at some point I think in the next 5 years or decade, it's either gonna keep going or it's gonna die.
Yeah.
I really do think it'll die. Granted, they're still gonna be making projects, but it's not gonna be the original Marvel universe, and that's why I'm afraid with RDJ being what
Doomsday.
Doom.
Yeah.
Can we pause? I have to pee really bad.
You need to.
She's
You need to
gotta
take a
pee-pee,
break? Are
she's
you
gotta go
serious?
Yeah, I
potty.
gotta go pee really bad.
All right, we're
Wow.
gonna take a quick break. Come on back. How was your pee? Good. You dribbled a little bit on your
you
pants.
dribbled a little bit on your pants. I like how we both pointed that shit out.
Immediate. I always check whenever someone comes back from pain.
Just
it's
going
funny.
back to it.
Yeah, everyone get ready again.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Devin, you good?
Yeah, I remember what I was gonna say.
Okay, so, uh, I mean, the MCU did something interesting. I think they failed at it, sadly, but I was really interested in this idea of taking movie scripts, expanding them, and putting them into a limited series or like small time television with the same budget. I think it's a really interesting way, especially to deliver more complicated stories than you can fit into a minimum like 2.5 hour runtime for a movie. So WandaVision, Captain or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, they did a lot.
I need to finish Loki.
And to expand it and put it into a 6, 7, or 8 episode miniseries, I think is a great way for superhero content to evolve. Right?
Yeah.
Especially with the same type of budgets. I mean, we're seeing TV shows produced now that don't look like anything we've seen before in terms of their budget.
No, I agree. Because I think that's one big problem that I kind of wish could be taken back about the Eternals. Is I really wholeheartedly think the Eternals could have been an amazing series had it given like 8 or 9 episodes with the same budget and fleshed out the characters and everything.
It was a really big misstep to make that into a movie.
Yeah,
Never watched it.
you're better
Man,
off.
I saw it.
You're better off.
I saw it maybe 6 months ago. Finally, years after it came out.
Yeah,
Man, that movie's a mess. It
Yeah.
really is. It's
could have been great.
It's all over the
Could've-
place.
all over the place. It was their attempt to. They got a Academy Award winning director, Chloe Zhao, I believe.
Some of the best actors out there.
Some of the best actors out there.
I would say big name actors.
They had Academy Award winners on there.
Yeah, there was actually good
Okay.
Golden
actors. in there,
Globe
too.
winners. They had big people on there.
They had Angelina Jolie. They had
Other people.
Et cetera.
and other people. I
Et
don't remember
cetera.
the names, but I know the series they were in.
Brian Tyree Henry. I like him, but his character sucked. Oh my god, dude. So I was watching that with Michael and
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Big
and
Mike.
Brian Tyree Henry's character is his whole thing is that he creates technology and he gives it to the humans. That's his gift to them, right? He's always helping them evolve technological, right? And there's a scene of him being all sad because there's a bunch of people shooting other people in the forest with like muskets or something, right? So I gave them these weapons. I'm soliciting their violence and their murder. It's like, is this really what I should be doing? And the other's like, yes, it's what you should be doing. This is who humans are. Even though you created weapons, you also gave them medicine and stuff, right? And on the couch watching it, I'm just thinking, they're gonna have a scene of this guy at Nagasaki. They're
Yeah.
gonna have him in the rubble in Japan. I fucking guarantee it.
Did
And
they? Did they?
no fucking kidding. Like 10 minutes later, it's him crying at the ashes of like Hiroshima.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, look at what I did. Look at what I gave them. It's a mess. It's so.
It genuinely could have been great. The characters on paper have like I can't explain it to you if you haven't seen it, but like have a pretty interesting conflict of like philosophy and morality of like what they're doing and what's right and wrong. And I think that it could have the Eternals in general are kind of lesser known characters, even in the comics.
Yeah.
I think they could have been given the Guardians of the Galaxy treatment, where there's lesser known characters being brought to the forefront and being compelling characters, and then they just messed it up. And even to this day, with the exception of like very loosely Captain America 4, they have not been addressed or brought up or mentioned in any capacity since
Yeah.
then.
The new Captain America Brave New World is the first ever MCU
Other movie to actually mention them.
to
Yeah.
not even mention the Eternals, just mention what happened in the movie.
Yeah,
They don't talk about the Eternals. They just talk about that there's a giant guy in the middle of the ocean now.
yeah.
So who are the Eternals even supposed to be, really?
They're Celestials,
Celestials?
brought to
Yeah,
Earth to
okay.
they-
solicit
start life.
mankind. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
They're made to protect and guide life.
Well,
Yeah.
this is what I hate about Marvel doing. They'll bomb something and then never try and bring it back up.
Never.
Well,
Never
Disney,
try and redeem it too.
well, and Disney does the same thing. They did it with Treasure Planet in Atlantis.
There's so many things to talk. I mean,
Yeah.
shit, they're doing it right now with Snow White.
Yeah.
They know Snow White's going to be a failure, so they're not even marketing the movie.
I want to say they did it with Star Wars too, but sort of, kind of. More,
Yeah.
but like, I just remembered a series you didn't even mention, Moon Knight.
Oh,
Did you guys even watch Moon Knight?
No, I
did.
missed most of the MCU shows. I gave up on Marvel.
What'd you think
after-
about Moon Knight?
I think that I was indifferent on it to be honest. I think that for it being a Disney Plus show before they kind of I don't even want to say found their footing, but I think in comparison to the other ones, it was better than what I had anticipated it being. I do think that given the freedom they have now with Daredevil and Punisher and like that, it could have been a lot better. I'd say
Oh,
that.
if they would. I mean, yeah, if they did anything like Daredevil or Punisher, like they would.
Do you think it just came out too early?
Yeah. What
Without an audience?
Well, came out and didn't have like a really solid script because it was not all over the place, but it was just weird, and that might just be because of like what it was about. But it was like it was kind of messy. You feel like it was kind of messy?
Well, what sucks is aside from the fact that it wasn't really allowed to be as like mature
Is
as
it
it
supposed
could
to
have
be
been.
super mature, like
Yeah.
the actual character?
Yeah, it is. It could have been a lot more intense, and also around that time is when the MCU in general had kind of gone on a downward slope, with the exception of like loosely WandaVision and then like Loki.
But I mean, how many years ago was that?
It
Yeah,
was
exactly.
like 3 or 4 years ago.
Like
That was during COVID. I think,
yeah,
too,
none of the
fucking up.
shows were really doing that well. And then just and honestly, like I love Moon Knight. And a lot of comic lovers like Moon Knight, but most people don't know who Moon Knight is.
Yeah,
So again, it was one of those things
very
that
obscure character.
kind of failed from the start. The other thing that sucks too is that Marvel has come out and said that Moon Knight is not going to appear for the foreseeable future. They canceled season 2. He's not appearing in Avengers Doomsday. And then they said that if Blade does well, he might appear in the Midnight Suns movies. Maybe 10, 15 years from now, he might appear.
I think that's the thing. They really need to like divide their certain characters up, like because Avengers, like they've got the team,
Yeah.
and then like now with Daredevil and like the other Street Fighter, the Defenders,
The Defenders.
the street level like characters. And then with like Moon Knight and then Blade, it's like that should be the more paranormal, like
Well, that's the Midnight
Yeah.
Suns.
Yeah.
That's
The
their
Midnight Suns.
group.
It was a smart thing they did about the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Is that they kept them separate.
yeah.
They weren't interacting with the Avengers until Endgame, and that
Yeah.
was like a big special thing for it. Is that look at all these characters interacting that haven't before. They
Yeah.
kept them separate. They're on a whole another part of the universe,
Mhm.
interacting with different characters. The only thing that was similar is that they would talk about Thanos or show Thanos, and the Avengers kind of knew about Thanos.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they messed that up around like Civil War, because I think Civil War was the last movie where it's like well that was the movie that like made everyone's interconnected now, fully interconnected, because like Iron Man 3 I think had the only cameo of like Hulk after the Avengers movies, was it, or what no Civil War or no Winter Soldier had.
You
I'm
tell me,
sorry,
pal.
I'm sorry. I got lost with that. at
Yeah,
that point.
completely lost. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, what I mean is like the finale of the trilogy for a single character basically just became like an Avengers movie, sort of.
Well, talking about how Moon Knight's not getting a second season, or they don't have any plans for him in the foreseeable future, and it's more wishful thinking that he'll appear in a Midnight Suns movie than anything. It's the Disney method. If they put something out with
And it fails.
not a lot of quality, it fails, or in the sense it just doesn't get the ratings that they're looking for. They will not address it. They will not touch it. Sorry, that character, that storyline,
dead.
and that entire little world that we built up for that series, gone, doesn't exist. Even though we brand it as to be part of this giant new universe that we created,
Yeah.
it's not a part of it.
We'll bring it up
Sorry.
17 years later.
See, and
Yeah,
and
maybe.
that's the thing. They just need to divide
like the
up.
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, they just need to divide up the universe like that at this point, where there's the Midnight Suns, the paranormal division of like Marvel, and then the Avengers, the main division, Defenders, the street level fighters, and then Guardians, the cosmic section, basically. There you go, Kevin Feige. There's a fucking idea for you.
You know, Kevin Feige, here's an idea. I think that we'll get the continuation of Moon Knight for all of his characters in Captain America 5.
Yeah.
But not Moon Knight.
no, like
Not
his buddy will get
Yeah,
the period.
his buddy, the villains, all the side characters.
Anybody
But
but
no
Moon Knight.
no
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah,
Keep
Moon-
that for Captain America 5, all right? We know apparently Sam Wilson has no stories on his own.
Does he really not?
No, he does. They
Okay.
just refuse to use it.
Yeah.
But yeah, at that point, just make a division for each like sector of like Marvel universe.
Well, because they're getting ready to add Fantastic Four and X-Men in
Yeah.
the foreseeable future, and I'm like, I hope they are able to balance that well.
Yeah, that one's gonna be rough.
We can talk about the future. We're talking about the current thing of MCU. The future is Fantastic Four. That's
Yeah.
their new
I'm hoping.
big one that they're
I
betting on.
really hope that's good, because like I I mean, I have just a special place in my heart for like the Fox ones. That granted, a lot of people are like,
I
they
like those
suck.
ones.
The OGs,
Yeah,
not
they-
the.
It's
no,
'cause we
we're
saw
not talking
those-
about
the Miles
sequel
Teller one,
sucks,
right?
No,
I was gonna say it's because we saw those as kids.
I don't
like-
care.
I like Owen Grufford as Fantastic, as Mr. Fantastic.
He was
Yeah.
a good Mr. Fantastic.
Now, honestly, the whole cast it's charming. You know, it's
Yeah.
nostalgic. You're right. We did see them as kids. If they came out nowadays, we're like, this is a fucking stinker. This sucks. Doctor Doom's a white guy. That's weird.
I thought that the guy that played the Thing did a great job. The bald guy. I'm trying to blank on his
God
name.
damn it, what's his name?
Yeah, I'll never remember that guy's name, sadly. But yeah, he was fun. You know, he's a costume. The Thing
Yeah.
is a costume, not CG, which is a lot of fun. It looks
Apparently,
a little.
he fucking hated that costume.
I would too. Apparently,
Yeah.
I guarantee it's a nightmare.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said he was like super dehydrated on set.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
at a
Well,
given
he
point.
had to drink a lot of water every single day for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I believe it. But I mean, we have a lot of hope for Fantastic Four. We got one trailer for it, which has been very exciting. We got the first look at the Thing.
Yeah.
At least it's not Fan Four Stick.
Yep.
I mean, Devin, do you want to talk about the trailer a little bit?
I mean, I don't even really remember the trailer, to be honest, but I think it's like every 10 years we get a Fantastic Four movie at this point.
Well,
on
that
the
was
money?
just Fox trying to keep the rights.
Oh yeah, but like on the money, I think it's pretty close every 10 years. But I mean, Oscar Isaac. No, sorry, not Oscar
Pedro
Isaac.
Pascal.
Pedro
Come on,
Pascal.
man.
Like, well, they're like brothers. I get them confused. Yeah, Pedro Pascal is incredible. I think he's a great pick for Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, he's pretty good in everything he's been in that I remember.
There are two actors I'm very unfamiliar. It's Sue Storm and Johnny. I don't really know.
I know that Johnny's actor was in Stranger Things and Guardians of the Galaxy, not Guardians of the Galaxy, Gladiator 2. And honestly, I mean, I'm sure he's a great guy, you know, and I don't think he's a very good actor.
Who?
The guy that plays the Human Torch in this.
In
Yeah.
this one?
I've
Yeah.
never seen him in anything, so he's a complete unknown to me.
I don't know. I haven't seen him.
He
Anything
as I was
yet.
saying to Jerry's, he's in the most recent season of Stranger Things as Eddie, and then he's the villain from Gladiator 2, and he just wasn't very good in either of those. In
Eddie?
my opinion. Yeah, he's the guitar player.
Oh.
That's the villain from Gladiator 2?
Same guy.
One of the emperors? The
Yeah,
twins?
uh-huh.
No fucking way. That's
Yeah.
the same dude?
Oh,
yeah,
I
same
see.
guy.
I think he'll make a good Johnny Storm.
I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
I don't think
Because I thought he was fine as Eddie, being like a fucking quirky.
I thought that was
just-
so cringe. To be
Really?
honest. Yeah, I thought that was so. I don't know if it's because I think Stranger Things after season 1 is honestly kind of cringe.
It is, because I thought it was gonna be a much more like
So
not paranormal,
I
but
did
much
too.
more
Horror.
Leviathan, like Lovecraftian
yeah,
show. I would have loved for that to have been the case.
so I don't know if that's on him or the writing or whatever.
That's on the writing.
Because Gladiator.
I always
2,
blame the writing.
Gladiator 2. I didn't think he was very good in that either. But I also wasn't really a big fan of Gladiator 2.
I've still never seen Gladiator.
I mean, let's
People are gonna hate me for that.
talk about how the new Fantastic Four movie is not taking place in main timeline MCU.
I actually
Yeah.
like
They're
that
going-
taking
I did
place.
too.
Yeah.
And
They're
like
going
the
for a
70s.
different
In
world,
the
a
what,
different
60s? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is it really even a time thing, or is it a different universe?
Maybe it's a
I think
different
it's both.
universe. Yeah.
Because I mean, how would you not?
Oh, no,
How would
they'll-
you include something
they'll
from the
cameo
past?
Howard Stark. There
Because
you go.
they're not underground. You know, it's not. This isn't a science
It's
experiment.
like it's out
gone
in the
wrong.
open. That
It's
they're
out in the open.
Fantastic Four.
They're very popular. They show that they have fans. You know, there's costumes in the streets, kids running around. They have posters.
Yeah, they're established.
Yeah.
They're established. So it's like, are they doing an alternate world, and they're gonna bring it in to like mainline MCU,
Like
whether
they,
through
they
like the
shift
multiverse?
universes.
You know,
Well, because there's a scene with Pedro, not to cut you off, but Mr. Fantastic where he has like a whiteboard and it shows like universe jumping. So
Really?
yeah, in the trailer they show that.
I wanna see.
So it's very likely that's what's going to happen.
like they're going for a completely different feel from a lot of other
I
MCU
like it, though.
properties.
I like it a
Yeah,
lot.
I appreciate them doing something different.
It looks different. It feels different. It has a much more campy, and I mean this in not a negative way, but in a positive. It seems comic booky,
And I like
personally
that.
love
Yeah, I like that too, and that's the thing I was gonna say. I feel like it's its own thing for right now, and
Mhm.
then it will be able to mix with the Marvel universe in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the best things the MCU could do is do something different from
Yeah.
what they're known to do.
Yeah.
Play around with it a little
And
bit.
it feels like it was one of those OG Marvel movies of the Marvel, like how Iron Man was its own thing, and they were still discovering stuff. And then also like Iron Man was It was grounded a little bit because it felt a little bit more like a. I mean, it was a God. Why am I? I'm losing myself. Damn it. It was its own kind of real life interpretation. The first Iron Man was, with how grounded it was with like war and like
well, we hadn't gotten
the war industry and everything. Yeah,
It started the MCU. The only superhero content we had from that time was obviously Superman from the 70s,
the Spider-Man movies,
the Spider-Man
Blade.
movies, Blade, and the
whole
X-Men,
Fox,
Fantastic
the whole
Four.
Fox Marvel universe.
Iron Man was a fresh new start for the idea of what superhero movies can be.
And at the time, Iron Man wasn't well known.
No, he
No,
wasn't.
not at
Funny
all.
enough.
You had to be a comic book reader to really
had to
know
be a
Iron
nerd.
Man. A little bit, you know, you had to be a nerd or you're a fan of what AC/DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, fan of AC/DC.
He was an unknown, and Marvel was able to make him a staple in every single household.
Dude,
name.
actually, that's not an AC/DC song.
What is it? Don't
Why-
correct me if you don't have it right
Black
off the top
Sabbath.
of your head. Black
It's a
Sabbath.
Black Sabbath song.
Well,
Come
there
on.
you go, you fucking metalheads.
go.
Sorry,
I
I don't,
should- I
I'm
shouldn't
sorry I
have
don't
even
know your
agreed with you on that,
40-year-old
damn it.
song. But the best thing they can do is something different, and I think Fantastic Four is, like its title, a great first step into branching off to surprise us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No more predictable MCU.
Yeah, because if I can watch the first 10 minutes and make a guess of what's going to happen at every point, then it's kind of like
It's a bad movie.
yeah.
I'm not even gonna say that it's a good superhero movie. It's just a bad movie if you can do that.
It's predictable.
Too
Yeah.
predictable.
So, I mean, we can branch off a little bit again because Fantastic Four, with its large hype and like its marketing strategy, they added them to the biggest video game right now, which is Marvel Rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They added the full team of Fantastic Four. I've never seen this OG team from the comics get as much appreciation than
And love.
right now, even before the movie, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope the movie's good, and I hope it shines a whole new light onto these amazing cast of characters and this team for their storylines and what can be shown later on in mainstream media. But the game has been a lot of fun. I know, Devin, you've been playing it a lot. I've
Yeah,
been
I
playing
love
it an absurd amount, honestly, too much.
I've played a little bit. I don't dive deep into games anymore. I feel like I've been kind of pushing myself away from video games. Funny enough.
You haven't been playing too much because Kobe, you're the main one who plays the most out of us.
I was the main gamer for a while now. I'm just kind of like bored of it. Like I've been actually painting and like drawing a lot more than doing that. Then just been busy with work, the car, all that stuff. But I actually think Rivals is a great game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun game. It's better Overwatch.
It is.
It's a way better Overwatch.
I think it's captured the magic of 2016 Overwatch whenever it first came out.
When it first came out, everyone was maining their heroes. They weren't trying to balance anything. They
Yeah.
were just like, this is your character. If they're broken, they're fucking broken. Deal with it and figure it out.
You know, we're a few months into like the main release of Rivals, so we are starting to see a lot more patches and balancing, especially around the competitive scene. I don't think it's going to get nearly as big as Overwatch did in the esports section, but just as like a casual
I mean, it could.
competitive scene of like, you know, gamers, streamers, anything. I think it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's what I love about it. It's very casual. It's not trying to get you ranked or anything like that. And nobody's really sweating unless it's the certain fucking players.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating for
sweating?
sure, dude.
Yeah,
I
Jared's a
am.
sweat for sure.
I am a sweat. I'm not gonna lie.
Get yourself
I
a
am.
fucking
I'm
towel.
very
Come on.
toxic whenever it comes to Rivals because I do nothing but competitive mode. I want my rank. I know my rank is good. I want a better rank. I think everyone else is a lower rank than me.
I would laugh my ass off if I 1v1 you in that, and it's just like.
No, Jared's pretty good.
destroy.
I am.
Who do you main?
Wolverine.
Of course you fucking
No,
main
no, I
Wolverine.
don't. I did for a little bit whenever it first started. Lately, I've been doing Magneto because
Okay.
no one ever wants to play tank in any competitive match.
Really?
And so to have a somewhat of a balanced team, I do Magneto. So I can do damage and be very protective. But Devin, I mean, you're the one who introduced me to Rivals. You were talking about it a lot before it even came out, and I wanted nothing to do with that game. 'Cause
Yeah.
it didn't look interesting to me. I thought it was an Overwatch clone. I thought it was going to be like this weird game that came out and immediately died off a month in because it was a broken mess.
Yeah.
I'll eat my words. I was very much wrong because I'm the one who plays it the most out of us.
Yeah, I love it. I've always been a big fan of Marvel games in general ever since Marvel Ultimate Alliance and Marvel Nemesis.
Oh, Ultimate Alliance.
That's
is
a
great.
long time. That's a big callback.
Yeah.
That's like 05 PlayStation 2 years.
Yeah, OG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Marvel is capable of making amazing superhero games.
Oh yeah.
But there is so much love put into it by the developers and the team. That they didn't even really have to if they didn't want to.
Yeah.
All the gameplay is so cool. Like the creativity with the costumes and the animations, and even like new gameplays and trying to keep it fresh is really fun.
Yeah.
Like I think the clone thing they're doing right now.
Clone Rumble. Yeah.
Where everybody can play the same character is so funny. The soccer thing they had going on for a bit was cool. It wouldn't surprise. They're going to keep going too. It wouldn't surprise me if we got like a go-kart thing at some point.
They're
I could see
branching
them
off
doing
with
that.
so many fun ideas for alternate game modes
Hey,
outside
money.
of just
Mhm.
quick play and
Well, and that's the
competitive.
thing. A lot of games do the same fucking game as everybody else, or same like game genre, like
Mm.
battle royale stuff like that. Just for an example, and they don't ever try and transition into something that either A is new or B has not been brought back in a long time.
Yeah.
And I'll say this: my favorite Marvel game that ever came out was Spider-Man 3, because of one of the game mechanics.
Spider-Man 3? Which game mechanic?
Spider-Man 3 from on the PlayStation 2, because I think the PlayStation 2 version and the Xbox version were different. But one of my favorite game mechanics was their gang mechanic, where like
Oh, it
different
had all the
parts,
gangs,
different
yeah.
parts of New York,
You had like the Japanese girls
mhm.
versus
the
what was it, like the
lizards,
punks and then the
punks,
lizards. Oh
the
my God.
brawlers,
Brings you back.
and
Huh?
then the police too were their own like gang, but they were there to like
The
take
band,
it
the
up
police,
after
or the
you beat
cops?
them.
Yeah, they had a whole
Yeah.
bunch of
Wait,
alternates.
hey, New York City, New York City police are basically a gang too. Yeah, at this point.
They had a whole bunch of gangs with like a bunch of side missions and mini bosses of just these little story
Yeah,
modes.
and I love that. And then it had the basically great gameplay of Spider-Man 2, which that's a phenomenal Spider-Man game too.
It brought in a
Spider-Man's
lot of
perfect.
God, dude. What a fucking hold on! I gotta
That's
pull
why
up.
that's.
Keep
and
talking about it. I gotta
wish-
pull up footage of
wish
that.
more games had that mechanic, especially in like an open world setting. I think Saints Row did it as well. GTA doesn't do it. I think if they added that to GTA, it'd be interesting. Please, GTA 6 come out.
What I wish they would do is Warner Brothers copyrighted. It won't let anybody use it.
Was it like
The Nemesis
the
system.
the Nemesis system.
Yeah, they said it wasn't going to be used until like what 2030.
Yeah. They're like, you can forget it. Yeah, because they were going to use it in the Wonder Woman video game that was coming out,
And then they
which I was
axed
so
that.
excited about. Yeah, then they told us to take a hike, and that nobody's going to get it for another 5
Whoever
years.
is the CEO of a Warner needs to step the fuck down already.
So-
Who is it, Zach something or
It's David Zaslav.
David?
It's the Discovery
Zaslav.
guy.
The
I want to talk about Spider-Man 3 because Kobe brought it up.
Yeah,
the
good.
game. Did you use
Oh
play it
my
a lot?
God, dude! I played that game so much. I have it pulled up for us on the TV, but this
Just swing
Spider-Man
it was
3.
Fun.
I can. If you're unfamiliar or you never played this game and you're only thinking of the movie, you know this game. You saw memes of it or videos.
I think
This is the one-
the Xbox version.
Yeah. This is the game where you had all the QuickTime events with those horrible human models.
I'm
Where-
gonna die.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, this is the Xbox version because
Yes.
there were different studios that did the Spider-Man 3 game. for the
Oh,
different
really?
consoles. That's why I say specifically
Ew.
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man
3,
2. This is
PlayStation 2.
this is the one I know. This is
The
the
Xbox
Spider-Man
one?
3 Xbox 360 with the weird QuickTime events, the
Yeah,
weird gameplay,
I don't know
horrible
which
models.
studio did this one, but I think Pandemic, which is I think it's dead now. Well, it's an EA. It got bought up by EA back in the day, but Pandemic I think did the Spider-Man 3 PlayStation 2 version. And if you don't know, Pandemic used to be a great studio. They did the OG Battlefront games, I believe.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Dude, this Spider-Man 3, the video game, is one of the funniest games I've ever played.
Like
The
that,
cut-
the 360
The
version.
360 version. The
Just with the
cutscenes
shitty
are
models and
so
everything.
fucking funny, dude.
Is this the one where you race the Human Torch through New York?
See, I think that was the PlayStation
No,
2
that's
one.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Mm.
Dude, it is so weird. It is unlike any other game. It's like a fever dream of a game. It's so funny. I'm so happy you brought that up because that was like that was an unlocked memory.
Because I know my grandmother keeps a lot. See, that's the PlayStation 2 one.
That's the one you played?
Yes, because
Kobe, that looks like shit.
Or that's the I don't care if it looks like shit as long as it's got good gameplay and mechanics.
I'm not talking graphics. I'm talking it looks like shit.
Oh, I'm sure it looks like shit just from like the graphics, but yes, the gameplay is amazing in that.
I'm not talking about whatever.
Yeah, you're saying it just looks like a shit game. Fuck
yeah,
you,
it looks like
Jared.
a shit game. Look at those quick time events. That's what you're missing out on.
I don't want a game where I'm doing quick time events 5 times. Look, I got God of War for that.
You don't think the aspiring gameplay of big button on the screen for a limited time and you got to press it? You don't think that's aspiring
I
gameplay?
think it's pretty
Is that
stupid.
the scorpion? Why does he look like a lemur?
Yeah, that's a scorpion. Yep. Yeah. Fun thing to do for the game is to fail the quick time events because he just dies, and you get the
Yeah,
end.
there
he
she
just
is. There she
Yeah,
is.
there she is.
Oh no!
It's so great.
Yeah.
Do y'all think y'all are going to do a let's play on it at some point?
I would have to find all the right connections for it.
I would love. I still have it. I have it
Yeah,
on the
that was
360.
the Spider-Man I played too. I think that was Spider-Man 2 right there.
Could be a fun little video series that we could do.
Yeah, I still want us to do the SpongeBob movie for sure.
So, we're running a little long at this point. Are there any final thoughts? I mean, we talked a lot about the MCU, current day MCU, the future with Fantastic
Make
Four,
more
our
R-rated,
hopes.
mature movies, Marvel.
He wants violence.
I
Kobe.
don't want
or-
violence. I just want a mature story that's actually well written.
Okay.
Because a lot, I'm not gonna say PG-13 movies or PG movies aren't well written, but like in today's age, it's just,
Okay.
I want more romance. There's
I
not
want-
enough
I want more-
good
I want more
romance in the
romance
MCU.
with Elektra and Daredevil. So I want my own. I want
Name
an
a good
Elektra
MCU
series.
couple. I bet you can't.
Yeah.
An MCU couple?
Yeah.
You know, we really don't. I guess now that Iron Man's
Damn,
out, we don't
that's-
have Tony Stark and
Yeah.
Pepper.
Good point out there.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty
Yeah,
good.
Gamora
Because
and Star-Lord.
Peggy and Steve.
They're
like,
dead.
They were never a thing.
Well, also
no,
he
got them
they
for-
were a
you got them
thing,
for
but then
one movie.
Peggy's niece was.
he made out with her niece, which is
Yeah.
kind of out of pocket
Very out of pocket.
because he's like
Yeah.
90.
Like a week after the funeral too.
Yeah.
He's not 90. He's like at least 100.
He's pretty fucking
That's
old.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Look,
think that's,
it's-
I
it's
think that's a
not-
good one.
Zendaya doesn't remember who Tom Holland
It's
is
more
anymore.
romance because like some of the best
Yeah.
movies they did
Wanda
have romance.
and Vision, I think were good.
Yeah.
What Hulk and
Betty.
Black Widow.
Oh, that was never really a thing.
It was a little bit.
I think my main one is more abstract form.
Oh God.
I want them to be different. I don't want them to adhere to a formula. I don't want them to go through test screenings and
Who are you gonna
That's-
name?
I'm not gonna name anything. I just want different shit. I
Oh.
want a movie that doesn't look the same as every other movie. It's
So
okay to
you
not
want
have
the love interest to be a horrible
no,
person.
no, no, no. I don't want. I mean, I do want love interest, but
You want
it's
the
like,
love interest to spit and stomp on the hero.
I want. I want the movies to not be so limited to like they need to look like each other. They need to feel like each other based on the characters, right?
You know
I
what?
want each movie to be original in its own way while still
Unique.
being somewhat connected and unique. Yeah, they don't need to seem like the exact same movie time and time again. And I think that's what people are
I think I got
facing
one.
with fatigue. What?
Spider-Man and Black Cat. Granted, there's not a good history of actors being a cat
Yeah,
superhero, but Spider-Man and Black Cat, I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah, they haven't appeared yet.
Yeah.
Not really. Do y'all remember when
We were doing final thoughts. Are you gonna bring up another one?
Yeah,
Dude,
not
real-
that.
What's up?
real quick? Do you
Okay.
remember? Cause I was thinking about it a few minutes ago. Do you remember in like Avengers 2 when Joss Whedon had that scene because he brought up the Hulk and Black Widow when the Hulk's like, "Yeah, I'm a monster. Like I'm a terrible person." And she's like, "Yeah, me too. I can't have kids."
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
you're
I
right.
was like,
I have no
what a
womb.
weird.
Well, they never wrote Black Widow.
Very well
Dude,
at all, and then they
well-
killed her.
Yeah, it's like you're a monster because you can't have kids. Like how a lot of women naturally can't.
Most
because
How
it's
about
a
you're a
norm- it's
monster because
perfectly-
you've assassinated people?
It's a perfectly fine thing. It's okay. That
Yeah.
doesn't make you a
Yeah,
person.
and that's one of the things I didn't like about Black Widow. I wanted it to be more like mature, but also I wanted it to feel like a Splinter Cell game, really badly. I think it would have been way better.
Well,
Oh
the
my
Black Widow
God.
movie.
Yeah, where it's like her infiltrating things, assassination, spying, all that.
We're talking about the
Or like a
future.
Bourne movie. I think it would be great if it was more like a Bourne movie too.
We're talking about the future of MCU. We didn't even bring up Thunderbolts. Is that on anyone's radar?
It was on mine. I was gonna
Oh,
bring
I
that up.
completely forgot about Thunderbolts.
Well, I was gonna say
Is
what?
it
'cause
out?
well, no, it comes out in May.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I was about
Um,
to say, I'll
That's their first.
I'll cancel time with Grandma and go see Thunderbolts.
Sorry, Mima.
with me.
Thunderbolts is out.
Sorry, Grandma.
But yeah,
Well,
Thunderbolts
please.
is coming out. I
What-
mean, do y'all have any?
Well, I was gonna say because Jerry said he wants movies to be more unique. I don't know how accurate this is, but
Supposedly, it's unique.
Florence Pugh swears that it's like a super unique movie and that it feels as if A24 made it.
Oh, I'll see that.
Yeah, so I'm.
Is it R-rated or PG-13?
It's R, I think.
I'm really not sure. I don't know.
Look that up, Jerry.
Look
I
that
can
up.
look it up real quick.
Yeah. No, but that makes me a little bit excited for Thunderbolts. But I don't know where I was going now. With Black Widow, I wish it was different. But I think they've learned. I think they're starting to learn with like if Thunderbolts is good, I think they'll have learned like okay, we need to really change things up and really get some good writing in. Is not expect.
That's a shame.
If Blade 2, Blade's gonna be fucking horrible then. Blade's gotta be R-rated. Wait, go back to it.
Go back to what?
To what I was saying.
To Google?
I was trying to read it, yeah. Well, Marvel has other... Okay, potentially Blade.
We're never
Thunderbolts
getting a
movies.
Blade movie, Kobe. It's
not
never
gonna
happening.
happen.
They've been pushing
I think,
back so far.
I think Deadpool and Wolverine probably ruined it at that point.
Yeah, we're
It
not.
was ruined before then. They were never gonna do it.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying Thunderbolts might be like Fantastic Four, a breath of fresh air. You know, it's going to be different. It feels like something that the MCU has never done before. They're going for a completely different feel and environment and
it
writing
might
style.
be like an A24 movie.
It could be. I mean, I don't know.
Well, seeing the names, it's a lot of A24 people.
It is. It is. You know, it's an interesting trailer. I mean, this is one of their most recent ones. You know, as of recording 9 days ago. I really like Florence Pugh.
I love Florence Pugh.
Really like Sebastian Stan. And that's really about it. But this movie has so many characters that no one cares about. It has
I think
discount Captain America guy. Was his
Walker.
name?
Red Guardian.
Red Guardian?
Yeah.
No, that's David Harbour.
Yeah, that's
well, who are you referring to?
I'm talking about the other. He was
Walker.
Captain America.
yeah, he was
Oh,
Captain
U.S. agent.
U.S. agent.
US agent, yeah.
It has U.S. agent. You know, it has Ghost. Everyone remember Ghost?
From the hit film Ant-Man
Yeah.
2.
And then do
Yeah.
you remember Black Widow's rival? It was
No, it's his
Taskmaster.
sister.
Taskmaster.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Taskmaster is in it, right?
It was like the daughter of the villain she wanted to kill.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I remember Taskmaster like kicked her ass for most of the movie.
Yeah, she didn't win
What?
a single fight in that movie.
Yeah. One last character I want to talk about because we need to shut this down at a point, but is Ghost Rider because apparently they're thinking about Ghost Rider
Well, so Ryan Reynolds said that he tried really, really hard to get Ghost
to
Rider
get
in the movie,
Cage into
and
it.
then just Marvel told him not to because they wanted to save Ghost Rider for something that they're doing.
Oh, so it could be something more recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
More evidence
speculation
of no Blade.
of there's speculation that either they're going to bring Nicolas Cage back to appear in
Ooh, that'd be
Doomsday,
interesting.
or that they're going to recast them all together. And then there's reports that they're talking with Ryan Gosling to appear as
That's
Luke
what I
Cage.
was going
Or
to
not
mention
Luke
too.
Cage,
That Ryan
Ghost
Gosling.
Rider.
They want Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
That's the rumor.
Yeah.
as Ghost Rider.
I think he would be an interesting Ghost Rider, but I would have to really like they would like I said they'd have to make it R-rated because Ghost Rider is one of those types of characters, and I think they would really have to have a good script for that.
I think Ryan Reynolds is a terrible choice.
No, Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, sorry. Same. I think it's a terrible choice. I think they should stay away from A-listers.
I think Norman Reedus could have been a cool Ghost Rider.
Norman Reedus could be a great Ghost
You know,
Rider,
I
but
think
that's basically
that's just because
his.
he's like motorcycle.
He's got a
that's-
bike.
That's his stereotype now.
yeah,
just
he's
like
a motorcycle
biker.
guy. Remember when they threw him in Bike Riders for nothing?
Shut the fuck
Was
up.
he in that? I didn't
yes,
see
he
that.
was in that.
And it was a
and
nothing
Bike
character.
Riders is a great movie. I love that movie.
You know,
Jerry hates.
I don't hate it. It just wasn't good.
I liked it. I liked it.
I don't have nothing against it. It just wasn't good. But no, I think a smart thing the MCU could do is bring in unknowns.
Like an unknown.
Well, that's what they did
actors.
with Iron Man. Or, I mean, RDJ
Well,
wasn't
it wasn't an unknown, but they brought back someone who was not an
Lesser
A-lister.
known,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was, you know, that no one was expecting Robert Downey Jr. to be a superhero, especially at the time.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna give a casting out, and I want y'all to tell me if it's a stupid one or an interesting one.
Dwayne Johnson.
No,
Go ahead.
no, Dwayne Johnson can go fuck off.
Chris Evans,
Logan Lerman.
I don't know who that is.
Logan Lerman.
Yes.
Logan Lerman's Percy Jackson.
Yeah, the OG Percy
Oh,
Jackson.
Oh.
The
You
Devin
could
approval.
say it's bad, but I think it would be interesting.
You're gonna look so
'Cause
foolish whenever Logan
Did
Lerman's on this
you
podcast.
ever? Because y'all have watched Fury, right?
No,
Oh my god, like
You've
years
never
ago.
seen Fury,
no.
but
Seen
dude, he-
Furiosa. That's a great
It's
movie.
a David Ayer movie. It's not very good.
Okay.
Fuck off! I think it's good.
Oh, is he the guy that did Suicide Squad?
Yeah,
Okay.
and Beekeeper and
no,
and,
come
and
on,
Bright.
Fury.
Pretty
Fury's
super
And A
pick there,
Working Man.
Kobe.
I loved Fury.
My
It's
dad
with
likes all
Brad
those movies.
Pitt, John Berthenol. It's a great cast. Come on, man.
Come on, Jerry.
Thank
on,
you for
dude.
tuning in. I don't want to talk about David Ayer at all, or any of his movies. Thank you for tuning in to a brand new episode of the Concrete Ranch podcast. We really hope that everyone at home enjoyed this new edition, this new set, this new formula, and who knows? Maybe you can see a new episode very soon. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.
Let's go get something to eat now.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
You guys are hungry?
I'm starving. Woo! Concrete Ranch.
All right, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's go get something.